Well, I'm back home, but it was because when I left in March and also in May, I did make a promise that I'll be back. That I'm not going anywhere from Nigeria. So it doesn't matter what anybody tries to do, and that is why when I was informed and I got a copy of their memo to the airport that I was declared wanted, it just made me feel very proud that I was once again upgraded by Nigerian government. I've been on the watch list of Nigerian government since I was in the university in 1992. But I found out officially that we upgraded to the highest possible level. So
what do you mean by upgraded?
Well, so they have different grades. There are people who they watch just generally, they are leaving the country, they just try to figure out where you're going. But the level that I'm on is the level in which whenever I arrive, I'm supposed to be accompanied, arrested, and detained, and taken to the office of the DG of DSS. That's the level that I am. I think it's the highest level. It's like the GCON of the GCFR of the National Award for Troublemakers.
So what happened this morning? Because we saw all of the drama that unfolded at the airport. We saw security forces trying to sort of whisk you away, and at some point it looked like they let you go.
Yes, when I arrived, they seized my passport. The immigration guy seized my passport. When I presented my passport for processing, and then after standing around for a while, I said, "What's the problem?" He said, "There is some notation on my passport that that needs clarification from Abuja." And I said, "Who is that? Who put it?" Of course, I knew. And they said they're going to make them. They started making all kinds of calls, and then they asked me to sit down at the place. I sat down beside them after a while. I went back to them and asked, "What's going on?" And it's been like 30 minutes at this point. And they said they're still waiting for Abuja to clarify. And then they took me to the office where I was briefly detained. And then I tweeted before going into that office. Some 10 minutes later, they came and said, "Oh, this has been resolved. You can go." So I went to try and get my bag. Because one of my bags was missing. I hope it's not the DSS that stole it.
You said one of your bags was missing.
Yes.
Is it still missing?
It's still missing, but incidentally with the airline to look for it. Because the tracking on my phone from the airline shows that the bag arrived. So, but like I said, I don't want. I hope they didn't try to do something stupid with my bag. Because I might plant some things inside of my bag. I brought drugs into the country. I don't do drugs.
All right. Now, let's talk about the reason why you are on the watch list. A lot of people have asked, what does this reflect of democracy?
Well, it's a reminder to those of us who fought for democracy that what we fought for has not come to happen in reality. And we just have to keep fighting until we get what is desirous. And I don't know, even if the democracy as we know it now, globally, is even desirous anymore, because it's been hijacked everywhere, including from the source. There's no longer even do credible elections in the US anymore. It's just crazy. But what is known to us as our own way of interacting and accepting governance and democracy in this country. And that's the basis of our engagement and interaction with governance. So that's what we continue to fight for. But I'm not surprised, but even though I feel sad that in 2024, people are still being hounded. Protesters have been arraigned and prosecuted for treason, in which they ridiculously wrote in the charge sheets that they're trying to overthrow the government with placards. And these guys are still in detention. Even when they're granted bail, the judges granted bail, given conditions that they know the protesters cannot meet. There are over 2,000 protesters where some protesters were detained for 60 days without trial by judges, federal judges. So these are part of the reason we must take our country back. And it's the reason I can never, and I'm saying it, I'm not bragging, I'm not running away from anybody. It is either we get it right we all perish. When I mean perish, if we don't do anything about the situation of our country, we're all going to perish. These people are going to just finish everybody.
I mean, let's talk about the circumstances which you picked up. Are you harassed?
No, I wasn't harassed. You know, it's difficult to harass me. I'm immune to harassment. I'm very calm in the case of provocation. But in fairness to them, there was nothing like that. I'm talking about immigration people. But you remember that the immigration DG, or the CG of immigration, had said this during the August uprising, that they have some people on watch lists. So I think this is our list. She was disgraced today.
All right. Now, this freedom that you have now, I mean, is it temporary?
I don't care. Whatever happens, it's, you know, my attitude to life is whatever we deal with it. But the most important thing is that we get the appropriate freedom, qualitative freedom for our people. When I was about to start my journey, I sent some messages saying that was after it was revealed to me that my name was on the watch list. And we have a country to save, and we cannot be deterred by, you know, all these distractions. These are distractions by those in government. And they know it. They are running out of time. And that's why they are very desperate. Interestingly, coincidentally, the president is supposed to return today. So, but you know which one is more eventful? The real president. And the whole country knew. When he comes in now, nobody will know. But that's on the lighter side. We must get our people to move very quickly to save this country, to save themselves from the destructive attributes of this people in political power. Because a lot of people cannot believe that Bola Tinubu, who was accused in 1994, firstly by the military, of trying to bomb a Djibouti depot, is also doing the same thing to protesters. He was accused by Abacha. That's the reason he left the country. But contrary to their own decision to leave, I am not leaving. But I will continue to maintain my right to travel freely whenever, whether you put me on watch list or down list or clean list, you know, whichever list you want to put me on, it doesn't matter. The most important thing is that we must save this country and we must liberate ourselves. We have people to liberate, and that's our focus right now.
All right, now talking about liberation, I know you've been very vocal as to the protesters being detained, the end bad governance protesters being detained at the moment, the likes of Michael Lenin and the rest. I'd like you to speak on that.
Well, part of what I'll do now that I'm here is to work to ensure that they're released from Kano to Kaduna, Michael Lenin, and whomever. We found out that the professor at Base University was also abducted by DSS. And it's been in detention all this while. So we're going to put a lot of pressure to get everybody free so that we can prepare very quickly for Fearless in October. Wow. Yes, we'll need all the protesters to be back on the street as soon as possible. So that's a must. But if you don't get them out, well, they might end up joining them there pretty soon.
Let's talk about Fearless in October.
Yes.
What's going on?
When it happens, you find out. You remember? Yeah. You remember when we were planning the August the end bad governance and all of that? Most of you, even in the media, did not know it would happen. It happened, and it happened in a way that surprised everybody. So let's just wait and see what happens in October. And I want to use this opportunity to say it very clearly. If you are feeling the burden and the yoke of bad governance, you don't have to wait till October 1. If you are organized enough, strong enough, it's not anybody's father's property. It's not a copyright to Showore or Take It Back movement. Everybody that is suffering, you can revolt at any time you want, any day, night, afternoon. So you don't have to wait for us. But we organize, and our own organizations collectively are looking at October 1 as a starting point.
All right. Thank you so much, Omayele Showore.
And I wanted to remind you, the last time you interviewed me, you said, "Oh, Showore, you're talking from outside the country." Now, I'm here with you.